20 years ago, I saw an ad in the Chicago Tribune, learn to hang glide. And all my life I've loved flying. I mean, what kid doesn't like flying? What kid doesn't dream of flying and just floating through the meadows? I mean, everybody wants to fly. I mean, it's just a natural thing. I just wanted to fly so bad, you know, and it's just the freedom of floating above the atmosphere, and then these thermals. It's like, whoa, that's just a whole nother section of my hang gliding life, getting used to those. And I did that for a bunch of years, had a lot of fun, met a lot of fun people. I mean, you meet the most interesting people in the hang gliding world, because they're the people who can't afford real airplanes, you know. And you get a lot of hippies, a lot of people live on rice and beans, a lot of people who have 40-year-old cars and barely make it down there, but they're, you know, holes in their clothing. I mean, but they want to fly, and and you gotta give them credit for that. In 1998, I was the second guy in America to buy a mosquito-powered harness made in Sweden. It's basically a way that you can actually get off the ground with your own little motor and fly around and shut your motor off, turn your motor on, which was perfect for me because I was working 7 days a week. And for me to go out there and have no lift and pay 20 bucks a pop just didn't cut it. And I saw this thing in this press release in the hang gliding magazine. I said, that's for me. Basically stand there, and then behind you is this kind of harness with the engine, the propeller, and the propeller is held off the ground by these little legs. So what you do is you have a mouth throttle that you actually bite down on, because you're busy holding this glider. So you bite down on the throttle, and all of a sudden the engine revs up. It's a 120cc, 12 horsepower motor. I never hurt myself, I just hurt my wallet. Yeah, I learned through my wallet, and which was okay, because now I teach people how to do this. If you buy one of these powered harnesses, your first couple flights are critical. You know, it's like you're either going to love this or hate this because of how well it goes. It's a totally new sensation. So with my scooter tow operation, that simulates that whole takeoff process very, very closely. Because I only have 100 pounds of thrust. So when I take off, it's not a rocket. It's the opposite. It just kind of, you have to run, you have to kind of build up your speed. You do this moonwalking thing as the glider picks you up. It's a very slow climb up. You don't want a huge engine. You don't go to hang gliding to be, you know, like the Blue Angels. You know, it's the opposite of the Blue Angels. The scooter tow launch, it just kind of pulls you along. And I run the scooter, and I could have the throttle, so I can yank people off the ground if they know what they're doing. Or someone like you, which you'll hopefully find out soon, is I can just barely pull you enough just to keep you moving, just keep you flying, and barely fly. I mean, having the wing fly, but not strong enough to pick you up. And that's a very good state to be in. You're trusting the wing, you're getting used to this running thing. And so this whole system with this kind of low and slow kind of training mimics that kind of force, only it's pulling instead of pushing. Last year, this time, I just opened up my doors, so to speak, to the scooter tow hang gliding school. I had an open house, a lot of people showed up. It just happened. You know, I didn't do any advertising. I have a website, you know. And I'm out at the site all the time. I'm there all the time. People drive in, hey, what's this? Oh, yeah, well, here's a business card, here's a brochure. And it went nuts. I had 100 students, and I have 2 main instructors. There's 2 opportunities to learn. One is at 7 o'clock in the morning, one's around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. We have those times because of the thermals are not present. When the sun first comes up over the horizon, the atmosphere has had a chance to mellow out all night long. It's been just, and it's real, because we want you as a student to be in very mellow conditions. You can't handle anything beyond that, and that's fine. So it's getting up at 5:30 in the morning and getting the gliders ready for my first students to come at 7. Classes go till about 10:30, 11, because then you notice that the thermals start kicking in and people start having these kind of weird flights. You know, it's not as smooth. They're starting to kind of having to correct, you know. It's like you had a smooth road, now we're on the gravel road. It's like, whoa, this is a little different. So we then shut the lessons down and let the thermals, let the big guys go up, let them have the fun. Then as the sun sets, the atmosphere then mellows out once again. So it's a whole cycle. And then we go till sunset. And then I'm in the dark, taking everything down, and then Sunday morning I get up again at 5 o'clock in the morning and set up the gliders for this. So I actually camp out at the airport every weekend. I have a pop-up camper, and I live there in the weekend. So Friday after work, I go out there and then camp Friday night. Get up Saturday morning, set up all the gliders, make sure all the harnesses are there, make sure everything's ready, you know, figure out which way the wind is going to blow. So we have to set the pulley up, and then the wind changes, we have to take everything apart, you know, it's work. That's my weekend. So that was my last summer. Every weekend from May to like September, I was out there and had all these students, and it was quite amazing. This will be the force you'll pull. You'll feel that.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can handle that.
It's coming from your hips. This will be attached to the glider. So what will happen is you'll be pulled and the glider will be pulled at the same time.
Yes.
So the glider and you kind of come as a package.
Okay.
So, but for now, we're not going to do any flying. And this is a release. If you're up in the air real high, you would pull this, and this is one release. There's another release on the glider. Both hands down on the down tube. There you go. Kind of lay out a little bit.
This is like Tom Cruise going down in Mission Impossible.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, now back to reality.
Okay.
Stand up. And remember how you held the glider before? You just put it on the meaty part of your shoulders and then just kind of lift it up with your legs. Perfect. All right, so now this time when you run, you got the right grip. That's called the grapevine. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a walk, jog, and then we're going to run. And then what we're going to do is going to feel the glider lift you up, and then we're going to try to keep the nose down as much. And I'll yell at you while you're doing it. So just point, concentrate on looking at a target, keep the wing level. Okay, a little faster. Okay, you want to start running? Then switch your grip once the glider lifts. Okay, a little lower. Yeah. Okay, pull in a little bit. So there's a sweet spot. And you'll actually feel it, you know, when you do it. And it's about here. That's what I want to keep it right. So the next thing, you want to run straight to the target. The glider starts turning, that will help you make the necessary correction. If you the most difficult part of hang gliding is this, suiting up.
Now I know what it feels like to be one of those gals with the tight skirts. Going up again. Woohoo!
Jesus.
Woohoo! Nice!
Greg's thermaling on his second flight.
Nice save! Nice save! I went up so quickly. I mean, I was up before I even knew it. And it was a blast. And it was so much fun. And that's all for today. So it's actually too windy for beginners. I was running along and I thought I was going to go up for like maybe 1 or 2 feet. All of a sudden I felt like I was up 15 or 20 feet. You know, the scariest thing is you have this, essentially this big plane hooked up to your body with, you have very little control over it, and when you're in the wind, you have even less control of it. And so, you know, like they say, the hang glider does all the work. You're kind of like steering slightly, but you know, you have to go with the hang glider, and I went with it.
Greg's flight was amazing. It was in conditions we don't normally tow in, but you know, it was calmer before because of the rain and stuff, you know. But the thermals, once the sun appeared, the ground heated up, and then now the active